Welcome to the BrainX channel. In the previous video, we learned how to draw the basic sine graph and identify its important properties. In this video, we are going to take that basic graph and see what happens when we stretch it, compress it, reflect it, and move it up or down. Let's get started. The basic sine graph is y equals sin theta. But in grade 10, you will also work with sine graphs in the form of y equals a sin theta plus q. Now, there are two important values that we need to look at, a and q, because these two values affect the graph in different ways. The value of a changes the vertical size of the graph. For example, y equals 2 sin theta will look like this, and y equals a half sin theta will look like this. And then the value of q moves the entire graph upwards or downwards. For example, y equals sin theta plus 2 will look like this, and y sin theta minus 1 will look like this. And then finally, a negative a value will reflect the graph. Let us start by looking at the effect of a. Remember, we are working with graphs in the form y equals a sin theta plus q. So for now, we are only going to make changes to a, and we are going to leave q equals to 0. Now let us look at our basic sin graph, y equals sin theta, which we drew in the previous video, and we are going to compare this graph with y equals 2 sin theta. The only difference now is that we have a 2 in front of sin theta. Now to draw this graph, I'm going to use the same 5 angles like we did in the previous video. And as I said, for grade 10, you will always use these 5 angles for your sin and for your cos graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a table that says theta and y, and then I'm going to list the angles. The next step is to substitute these values into this equation. So we will open the calculator, and then I'm going to type 2 sin and then 0 degrees, and that is equal to 0. So I'm going to write 0 in this space. Next, let's calculate 2 sin 90, and that is equal to 2. Now you're going to repeat these steps and fill out the rest of this table. Now that we filled out all the y values in this table, I'm going to plot the points. So the first point that I'm looking at is 0 degrees. So I'm standing on 0 degrees and the y value is 0. So I'm going to make a dot here. Then when I'm standing on 90 degrees, my y value is 2. So I'm going to draw a dot over here. And then when I'm standing on 180 degrees, my y value is 0 again. And then on 270 degrees, my y value is negative 2. And then the last one, when I'm on 360 degrees, my y value is 0. Now I'm going to connect these dots by drawing one smooth curve. Do not draw straight lines because then you will not receive your marks. Now let us quickly compare this graph with the basic sin graph. For this basic sin graph, we have a maximum value of 1 and we have a minimum value of negative 1. But for the y equals 2 sin theta graph, we have a maximum value of 2 and a minimum value of negative 2. So what does that mean? It means that the graph has been stretched vertically. The 2 in front of sin theta has made the graph taller. Now it's time to have a look at the properties of each graph. So we will start with the domain. Now the domain is all the x values or all your theta values that your graph can be. And that value is normally given for you over here. But if it's not given, then you have to go to your graph and see where your graph starts. And in this case, it starts at 0 and it goes all the way through to 360 degrees. This green graph, the y equals sin theta graph, doesn't go any further to the right-hand side or any further to the left-hand side. So if they don't give you this value as part of your question, then you can get your answer from your graph. So theta is an element of 0 degrees all the way through to 360 degrees. And you have to close your brackets. Now let's have a look at the y equals 2 sin theta graph. Again, those values are given to us, but if this wasn't given, then you just go to your graph, then you'll see that it starts here at 0 degrees and you'll see that it ends at 360 degrees. That means the domain for y equals 2 sin theta, and theta is an element of 0 degrees all the way through to 360 degrees. Note that I'm drawing square brackets because 0 and 360 degrees are also included. Now let's look at the range. What is the range? It is all the y values that your graph can be. So when we look at the y equals sin theta graph, I can see that the maximum value is 1, that is over here, and the minimum value is -1. That means y is an element of, in square brackets, and we always start with the lowest number, -1 all the way through to 1. And then on y equals 2 sin theta, I can see that the maximum value is 2 and the minimum value is -2. This means that the range for this graph is y is an element of -2 and 2. And now let's have a look at the amplitude. So what is the amplitude? Well, the amplitude is the distance between the midpoint and the maximum value, or the midpoint and the minimum value. Okay, so let's find the midpoint. The midpoint is y equals 0. It's here on the x-axis. So from the midpoint to the maximum value of our basic graph is 1 unit. And from the midpoint to the minimum value is also 1 unit. That means that the amplitude for our basic sin graph is 1. Now let's have a look at the amplitude for y equals 2 sin theta. So the midpoint stayed the same, and from the midpoint to our maximum value is 2. And it is the same for the midpoint to the minimum value. The distance is also 2 units. That means that the amplitude for this graph is 2. And then remember, like I said in the previous video, you can also find your amplitude by looking at your A value, which is, in this case, 2. And for this graph, it is 1. Now let's look at the period. Now, first of all, what is a period? Well, it is the distance it takes a graph to complete one full cycle. Let me demonstrate it for you. Our y equals sin theta graph starts at 0. It moves upwards and down to 0 degrees again. But then it goes down to -1 and it moves upwards again to 0. Now it is back in its original position where it started. If it has to start again, it will go upwards again and it will go downwards and upwards again until it reaches the original position again. Now this distance that it takes this graph to complete one full cycle is 360 degrees. So I'm going to write 360 degrees. And it is the same with y equals 2 sin theta. It starts at 0, it goes up to 2, down to 0, down to -2, and back to 0 at 360 degrees. So now it is back at its original position, and that is also 360 degrees. And then just something that I need you to take note of. For grade 10, your period for the sin graph will always be 360 degrees. Now let's see what happens if we keep a equals 1, but we make changes to q. So now we have this equation y equals sin theta plus 2. So let's see what happens to the graph now. First, let us add the values into our table. So you will press on your calculator sin 0 degrees plus 2, and that is equal to 2. And you add that to your table. Now, let's do it again. We've got sin 90 degrees plus 2, and the value is 3. And you do that for all the values for your table. Now that I've completed the table, I'm going to plot these points on our axes. So when theta is 0 degrees, the y value is 2, so I'm going to make a dot there. Then when theta is 90 degrees, the y value is 3. And then when theta is 180 degrees, the y value is 2. And then when theta is 270 degrees, the y value is 1. And when theta is 360 degrees, the y value is 2 again. And now let's connect these dots, and remember, it must be a curved line. Okay, now that I've drawn this graph, let's have a look at the properties and see how it compares with the basic sin graph. So what do you notice about the new graph? Yes, that plus 2 actually moves our y values up 2 units. That means every y value moves up 2 units. Now let's find the domain for our new graph, y equals sin theta plus 2. Now if they don't give you the domain, then you can find it by looking at your graph. Now the domain is all the theta values that you can see on your graph. So when you look at this graph, you will see it starts here at 0 degrees and it goes all the way through to 360 degrees. Therefore, theta is an element of 0 degrees all the way to 360 degrees, and they are inclusive. Now let's have a look at the range. Now the range is all the y values that your graph can be. But now you have to be careful because this graph is not from -1 to 1. This time, this graph is from 1, which is the minimum value, all the way through to 3. Y is an element of 1 all the way through to 3. And remember that these numbers are included. Now let's have a look at the amplitude. Remember I said you can find the amplitude by looking at the coefficient for sin. And in this case it is 1, but you can also work out your amplitude by finding your midpoint, which is here. And then from your midpoint to your maximum value is 1 unit, and from your midpoint to your minimum value is also 1 unit. That shows you that the amplitude is 1. And then let's have a look at the period. The period is how long it takes for that graph to complete one complete cycle. But for grade 10, as I mentioned, the period is 360 degrees. As you can see, it starts here at 0 degrees, and it takes 360 degrees to get back to its original position. Let's do a quick recap for y equals a sin theta plus q. Always remember that a in this formula changes the vertical size of a graph. For instance, if you have y equals 2 sin theta, it will stretch your graph. If your a value is less than 1, for an instance a half, then it will shrink your graph. And then the q value will move the graph upwards or downwards. So if you have y equals sin theta plus 2, it will move your graph upwards. And if you have y equals sin theta minus 1, it will move the graph downwards. And if you have a negative a value, for instance y equals negative sin theta, then it will reflect your graph. In the next video, I will show you how to draw the cost graph and how to determine its properties. See you in the next video.